Huzzah! Looky. Let's try and be a bit more upbeat because, my God, healing is, yeah. Starting to feel a little bit sharper, which is nice because, got a lot of shit to achieve and not a lot of time to do it. But yeah, Project Loki, what the fuck is going on? And the simple reality is independence. It's my main focus and or goal with the next chapter. And some of you might be baffled by that statement because you'll have seen my art or seen what I've created and gone, wait, what? And it's like, this is the disparity that's always been within my contrary I don't know quite how to define it, but like, whilst I'm extremely independent and sort of free of mind within the arts, my personal life, like I've mentioned in a previous video, was pretty fucked. And, whilst I've matured, grown, and gained a lot of wisdom through the arts, it's like applying those same theories, philosophies. I suppose philosophy would be the best way of putting it, but yeah, that sort of the notion of personal development, because whilst it's all well and good to continually be focused on personal development and, this is why I say, like, within the arts, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do it. There's not an awful lot of barriers that prevent me from just getting on with stuff. Like, whilst I'm not perfect and there's a lot of skills I still need to learn, it's like, for the most part, I can just create and keep creating and create and, But the reality is, like I say, I've sort of put everything into the art without actually focusing on my personal life. So whilst I've grown and sort of achieved more and, reflected and progressed within the art, it's like, yeah, I've seemingly reverted and or gone backwards in my personal life because I'm entirely dependent on other people. Like, and I know that's the sort of innate nature of creation or creating anything. Sorry, I'm trying to readjust the camera. But it's that sort of, if I want to create better work, like there's so many random ideas, like for just drawing projects. Like I want to draw a whole range of people riding dinosaurs. Why? Because I think it's funny and it's arguably a part of our history. I say arguably because it depends on which version of history you apply to. It's like, do you apply to science and the actual facts, or do you listen to the created narratives? Because there's a lot. There's a lot. It's one thing I've certainly noticed from talking to people as well, is like, you can tell when someone's gone too far down the rabbit hole with the internet, and it's like, ooh, this is the beauty of cross-referencing that a lot of people don't have. It's like I did a short the other week, and I was trying to explain something by using a analogy or metaphor, and of course someone took me literally because, well, they're unable to understand that someone can actually hold 3 or 4 different opinions and cross-reference them. Apply some logic to something, like. But it's why I mentioned in the last video about the content, because it's like, as much as I enjoy chatting with the camera, I enjoy making videos, I enjoy doing the shorts, it's like, there's got to be a purpose. Well, it's not that I expect or necessarily want sales as a validation. It's more of a, well, like I say, with independence, having the financial independence to just get on with stuff. Because that's the thing that I love with art. That's the thing why I keep doing it, irregardless of the sort of my personal situation. It's like the sense of satisfaction and or reward you get from creating is, yeah, pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, but it's having the well, simple reality is, if I don't get sales, I don't have money, and if I don't have money, I can't create, and then I'm stuck in a sort of vicious loop where it's very easy to go fucking mad. Fortunately, I was already bad before I started making art, so it's like, it's not really an issue in that regard. But I've had to sort of sacrifice my independence to keep creating art. What do I mean? Well, stuff like with my dental hygiene. Other than 2 weeks ago, I haven't been able to see a dentist in years. Let alone actually gain a rapport and actually get anything fixed. It's like, yeah. Clothes? Well, just like a personal life, you know what I mean? It's like just being able to go out with friends, being able to take out people or provide for people that I care for. It's these sort of things that, whilst they may not seem that damaging, it fucks with your mental health. Like, that was the biggest thing I realised with my teeth, is like, it's unfortunately the price I had to pay for not being serious. And whilst I've taken the art serious, and I take what I do very seriously, it's just I wasn't taking my health seriously. I wasn't, like I say, applying the same attitudes and mindset that I do with art to my personal life, which, yeah. You don't realise how damaging it is to your sort of mental health and physical health when you don't pay attention, or when you can't afford to eat properly. Because whilst, I've got good people around me that can help and support me, it's like, there's been massive holes, like, I've lived off one meal a day for the last 10 years, almost, if not longer. Like, something I was doing before art, and this is why I say it, it's like, it's the little things like diet that you don't really think of until it's a problem. And then by the time it's usually a problem, it's usually too late to fix. And this is why I say it's a bit like smoking. I'd imagined that, by the time I'd got to this stage, I would be able to get off of it. Because as much as people say, oh, just stop, it's like you can't just stop with stress. When it is your sort of stress coping mechanism, it's like, yeah. It's not that simple. You need to remove the stressing factors in your life, because then it will make it easier. Like, not disputing it's still difficult, but having done it many times through my life, I know that stress and anxiety plays a massive part in how much I smoke. This is what I say. It's those weird things where you don't necessarily consider the sacrifice you're making until you stop and reflect and go, well, actually, the fuck am I doing this for? Because I was supposed to be able to just independently create. And at a certain point, it's like I say, you got to address the elephant in the room, because, well, without money, you cannot really do that. And whilst I may not agree and or involve myself with social media, mostly because of the fucking drama, gotta do it. And this is why I say it's like, yeah, I enjoy doing this, but at a certain point I need to look at the results, I suppose. Because yes, I am exceedingly confident that I will achieve it and get there and achieve greatness in my lifetime, but at the same time it's like, got to get over this hump. Because whilst selling one of the new prints would give me some financial freedom, it's only short term. Like, especially as, like I say, because I've put off so many things for so long, my list of shit that I need to actually move forward is obscene. Which is why I've got to be a bit more acutely focused on selling stuff. Like with this piece. If you want it, it's 50 grand. It was only 25. Well, it was 10 and then 25 and then 50. Why? People. That's the thing. It's like, because it's one thing to be focused on personal development and growth and sort of achieving more, but dealing with shitty people is tedious and time consuming and just adds to the stress, you know what I mean? It's like, this is why it's like, well, actually, fuck it. 50 grand. Because at least then it gives me a bit of fucking headspace. Like, worked out as like, if I wanted to provide for my friend, I'd need 20 to 30 grand a year. So, selling a print is great. Selling a painting is great, but that's just to support them. This is why I say it's like, fuck me. And that's a dumb thing, because I've never really put myself in the situation where, like, all the profit I get goes back into what I do, and whilst that's great, you need profit. And like I say, with the independence, it's like, if I ever want to be truly independent, I have to start putting price tags on things. And being a bit more outwardly confident. It's difficult for me because there's a very fine line between confidence and arrogance, and with the way my voice is, it's very easy to cross that line. But the reason this one's 50 grand is to prove a fucking point, is that delusion is only delusion if it doesn't work. And it's the unfortunate nature of, like I say, putting my art on social media. I know I'm going to get shit, especially with the abstract stuff, because, well, it's abstract, or like with a piece behind. It's impressionistic. It's not meant to be hyper-realism. Fuck that noise. Take a photo. It lasts longer. Like, long ago, come to the conclusion I'm a conceptual artist, but, you know, it's like... dealing with haters is not my strong point. Like, I can appreciate a good troll, but, like, there's a time and a place. And it comes back around to the old fuck around and find out. Having seen some of the work I've created. Do you really? But it's that a mindset, because it's like, yeah, the difference between delusion and success is just results. It's that simple. Like, and arguably, if I'm charging 50,000 for a print of a drawing, I should be charging exponentially more for a one-of-one painting that I'm never going to attempt to replicate. Wouldn't want to, and don't have the resources or the means. Well, even if I did have the resources and means, I still wouldn't want to. I did it whilst there's potentially more I could do if I had a workshop. You know, there's still a few things I would like to fuck around with the pearlescence, but, like, it's a bit chintzy. I don't know. I love the fact that you get, like, 3 paintings in one, though, because depends how the light hits it. Because from certain angles, all you see is the gold and the gold streaks that run through it. And then, well, like I say, the closer you get, the more you see. And my camera's shit, so you can imagine it. What I'm showing you is very limited compared to the actual detail of the piece, because, well, pearlescence, they reflect light, so if your camera is shit, it won't reflect the light or as much light, so therefore the effects will be limited, you know? But yeah, I think there's definitely potential with, you know, doing some more figurative style abstractions, you know, like attempting to make like a holographic painting. So from one angle you see a painting, from the other angle you see the other painting. That's basically where I was going with it. It's like, it kind of works, it kind of doesn't, is, you know, but with abstract it just comes across as a bit, chintzy's the wrong word, because it's not cheap, it's like bedazzled. It's that kind of tacky, that's the right word, tacky. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, and, like, I love it, but, like, there is a certain level of it, just, it is a bit it is what it is, you know. It was a nice experiment, but that's the thing, it's like, well, I'm not one to be told what the fuck to do with my things that I've created, because, well, I don't have many possessions, so if I'm going to sell something, might as well make it worth my while. Time and effort. Because I love talking to people face to face. I love collaborating with people, and that's the thing that, well, this is why I need a workshop. This is why I need a sort of fixed studio workshop that I can do that. Collaborate with more people. With the way the UK government is, it's like, oh man, it's fucking stupid how much land is, especially in the area I'm in. Like I say, if you want to run a semi-commercial farm, 2 mil? That's without all of the extra fees and taxes and fucking bullshit that you get charged on top of that just to get started. But in a weird way, I need the sort of commercial and or, yeah, it's the... There's a lot of details and a lot of things that go into it, and whilst I could do it on a smaller scale, who the fuck wants to, like? I came into this looking at artists like fucking Oldenburg, Richard Serra, you know, or even Banksy to a degree. It's like, doing large scale stuff interests me more than just painting. Like, painting's okay, it's interesting, I can do some conceptually cool and weird and interesting things with it, but That's why I kind of like illustration in a weird way, because it's like different parts of your mind, like... But like with the illustrations, there's so many fucking projects I've got on the back burner where it's like, I don't even want to start it because I can't finish it. Like, whilst I can finish the work, the drawings, at a certain point, is like, I've already got 2 years worth of work that I need to deal with. Plus another 3 kids book, well, 2 kids books and... Is it 2 or 3? I think there's 3 more kids books and a art book that I need to fund. This is what I say. It's like, there's a lot I need to resolve artistically as well as personally, but if you're ever curious as well about self-development and how I've sort of got to where I have, it's a lot to do with just building lists. It's the contrary thing because I don't write, which is why it's more poignant. It's just time, like lots of time, lots of thought. But it does help to have a list. I mean, there you go. There's a few. When I say there's a few, but like it's just something that you can just pick up and go, haha. It's like, it's a cheat sheet, but stuff like going the extra mile, you can't really teach. You can advise, you can develop different things from different people and pick up different habits, but like intuition, can't really teach that. Self-discipline, well, hints in the self. While a lot of people may have discipline, self-discipline is a very different skill. It's the ability to do things irregardless of what's going on. Stuff like the gym. Doesn't matter what's going on with my life, I'm going to the fucking gym. Why? Because it helps me. It improves my mindset, and little things you can do to help you. Accurate thinking is a motherfucker because there's so much information, and the thing with knowledge is you need time to process it. It's all well and good reading and thinking that you can cram, but it doesn't actually stick. And I mean, some people have a remarkable ability to do that. You know, they can read information and just move on. But for most normal people, process. Not only figuring out the process of something, but also giving your time to process things. Like I say, it's a dualistic thing where processes help you to put things in order and make sense of things, whereas processing is time and reflection, which, well, it's critical analysis, isn't it? I suppose that's another way of putting it. And this is what I say, is I've worked on as much as I can that doesn't involve money for as long as I can, because, well, a lot of these things you can, but like I say, when I've avoided and or ignored health because, well, you need to be dead or dying to see a fucking doctor, and dentists are extortionately expensive. Like, even the emergency tooth removal I had, 2 weeks of antibiotics, that was 30 quid. Initial appointment, that was another 30. And then to have the tooth removed, I think was 80, 70 or 80, which, yeah. And that's with doing it through the NHS and doing it on emergency stuff. If I had to actually pay for it, it would be £400 to £500 probably. Fucking ridiculous. But the fact that I'm put myself in a position where I have no choice, I have to sacrifice my own health, it's not good. And it's certainly not helpful, because you need to eat well to think well. It's kind of whilst I've eat a very diverse and mixed diet, one meal a day isn't enough. Well, no, it's just not. Not on a permanent basis. This is the thing. It's like, yeah, it's why I've had to sort of adjust and think about the sort of way I approach a lot of the content, because it's like, well, got to be a bit more earnest, a bit more honest, and actually, speak about things, because I haven't. And whilst it's all well and good having a positive mental attitude, it doesn't really work if the rest of it isn't positive. Like, it's like I explained to a friend, it's like, how can you ever expect or be able to achieve excellence if you're ignoring a bunch of things that are integral? Because whilst the money isn't integral, it's just a means to an end, it's a tool. But if you don't have access to that tool, it's like, yeah, you consistently have to find ways around it or do other things, which, yeah, is not good. it's not beneficial to the long-term goal, which, like I say, being able to just freely create and or independently create without thinking about, what about a show? What about an exhibition? Oh, where's this going to go? How do I sell it? What, like, product mindset. I'd rather be the muse locked in the room creating the products and allowing other people to tangelize. Make tangible. Or turn them into products. There we go. Sometimes it's just easier to explain things simply. But it's that, like I say, with the self-development, because it's like, it's having the independence to go, actually, I need a break. I need to go and inspire myself, like, or just take time for myself. Because if you've never got time to process, it's always this kind of ongoing thing. Like, it's like they say with content, it's like, you've got to keep creating content. And it's like, yeah, but you never give yourself a chance to appreciate what you've got or where you're going. And like I say, with building a community, it's like, you can't necessarily do that by throwing shit at the wall. Because you only get shit back. And, how's anyone ever going to appreciate a piece of content if you consistently just create? And this is why I say, with having people around me that are able to sort of think about things more logically, because like, whilst I like going off on side quests and side tangents, it's like, they don't always necessarily need to be something, like, well, look at like 90% of the website. Most of it doesn't have a purpose necessarily, other than art. Can't or shouldn't be turned into something else. Like, and while some things work better than others, like, so I always mention the old Redbubble, because it's like, well, it, whilst it taught me a lot about design and products and, product, not so much product placement, but placement of art, because you can't always necessarily use everything. I mean, you can, but like, this is why I say, is like, inevitably everything will find a purpose and or use in some way, shape or form, but it's not necessarily for me to define that. Like, whilst yes, if I make a chess set, I want it to be used and or played with. It's like, some of the other stuff is like, with the trophies. Oh, I just think it's funny. I think it'll be funny to make a bunch of trophies out of that don't exist, that have no relevance or rationality in this plane of existence. So, who doesn't want an alien trophy on their wall? I mean, come on. Not the actual, is it Sigourney Weaver? Not the alien. Anne. And not the Grey. Or any of the conceptual things that you might have consider. Weird hybrid fish people, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of range and ideas that, yeah, they make for good shows. There's things there's a lot of things I've got that I have an idea what it could be used for, and or how it could be best used, but the last 10 years has taught me anything is that I suck at marketing. Like, I just do. It's not a case of not understanding it, because I do understand it. I just don't want to do it, I suppose. Wow, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, you need to do it, you need to have to be, and, it's like with branding. You've got to bend over and take the brand, but do you have to? It's an age-old battle with artists is something I've been talking about with a friend, because it's a balance, and it's a difficult balance, especially, like I say, when you're me. When you're uniquely suited for art, like, it doesn't, like, you don't have a fucking choice, basically, because there isn't another way. Like, wow, there's other ways I could make money, but, like, I don't really want to. I don't really, I don't see it as a path that's going to help me, or help me grow, or benefit me in the long run. It's like, I know what skills I need to work on. I just need the fucking money to do it. Like I say, with a master's, it's only 25 grand, but I think it was a year course. I could be wrong. I think it might have been a 3-year course, which, yeah, you need 3 years of relative stability, which I laugh because I have none. And this is why I say with the lack of independence, because it's like, yep, and you don't have money, there's not, yeah. There's grants you can apply for, but at the same time, you're still basically stuck in a situation where you've got to sell something, but if you value what you sell, you've got to hold your ground. Fucking stupid, basically. It's like trying to get your work out in a primary market. It's like, yeah, sell yourself short so that you can sell stuff and keep creating stuff. It's like, feels like a false economy, and doesn't feel like I'm ever actually going to break through to the next level. You know what I mean? It's like, whilst I aspire to be a blue chip artist, it's like, in my own way. I take inspiration from older artists. I don't want to be like them, like, I just want to be the best version of me, which is a unique challenge in itself. Love it. But yeah, it's why I envy some other artists, because they've had or have careers in other facets and other forms, which means they can create entirely without boundaries. And it's like, whilst I've achieved a lot and done a lot of that, it's like, yeah. It's a bit ass backwards, especially as, like I say, when I've seemingly cucked myself, because, well, there's a reason, Ozzy bit the bat's head off when he did. You've got to have a career before you fuck your career. You don't really fuck it from the start. Not that I have, but, like, making things hard for the sake of making things hard, it's like, whilst it teaches you a lot and you learn a lot, it's not the most appropriate way to, well, it's not success. That's the thing. Like, not that success should be easy, but there is a certain ease and, or, freedom, independence, I don't know. Like I say, you can define it in many different ways, but all comes back around to the same thing in the end of the day, doesn't it? Which is money. This is why I say, it's like, do you want to help? Well, if you made it 40 minutes, just go and buy some art. It genuinely helps, and like I say, it means I can start actually progressing and start doing some of the things that I want to do, because is there a reason for a master's? No. Do I need a PhD? No. Really no. If I keep going at this rate that I'm going and or improving, I'll get one. I'll get given one, but, I'd rather have one and then get given more, At least if I achieve one, it means I've actually achieved it. It's not just given, you know what I mean? It's like, not to say honorary degrees aren't the same, because it's just personal preference. It comes back around to the old independence thing where it's like, I'd rather earn something than feel like I've been given it. It's why I'm one to set up a Patreon, because it's like, well, I can resolve some of the security issues and or financial independence. It doesn't, can just get on with stuff. Not have to necessarily justify it. I can just take you along on the journey for the sake of taking you along on the journey. There's not necessarily a responsibility, I suppose. It's like, I wouldn't have to feel quite as obliged to explain as much. I'd still do the videos, and I'd still, keep helping in my own ways. It's like, yeah. There's a lot that I want to do that is just for shits and giggles. Whilst it will help me and or help me to become better and or develop me as a, better spokesperson. I don't know how the fuck you define it. Better creator, better artist, better person. A better Lukey. Yeah. Better Lukey. Hi. Gotta love the way my brain works, eh? Is it? Or is it? Yeah, I suppose that's about it for this week. Like I say, just felt obliged and or like I owed you a video, because I've been sort of throwing stuff at the wall again and not necessarily explaining the purposes behind the why, because, well, I want to get rid of what I've got, I want to literally get rid of everything that I've got, or as much as I can, before I start just doing stuff. Like, and that's a difficult thing, because as much as I want to do a master's and PhD, it's like, I need space. I'm going to need more space. I'm going to have to get rid of what I have to be able to do that. And whether that means giving it all away, because that's the reality. If I've got the money, I can just give it all to a museum. I can give it all to galleries. I can just get rid of it in that way. Like, it's art. Someone will want it. Someone will sell it. No, I don't care. I mean, I do, but like, I'm more interested in what's next. Like I say, Master's gonna have to create a series or something within that, and I imagine PhD would very much be the same because, well, it's art. Thankfully, couldn't think of anything worse than having to write like another essay. That actually broke me the last time I had to do that. I am very much not a writer. I don't enjoy it. Don't like it. And yeah, I think it was 2,000 words. And at my best, I only got to 1,600. It was a fucking slog. Like, the initial one I did was 800, and then I have fluffed it out to 1,600. And then I think I ended up just passing it off to someone else, and then getting it back. Because obviously I'm very succinct. I don't like to write, and if I do, I'm just brutally to the point. And unfortunately, that's not how essays are formulated. Ugh. But in a lot of ways, it's like if it wasn't for some of that, I probably wouldn't have achieved the degree. So, yeah, got to do what you got to do, innit? If it has to be, then it has to be. Thankfully, there's AI now, so not that really helps, but oh, I got time. Yeah, funny story about AI. I tried getting it to do some. Basically combine two graphs together to try and see if there was some sort of overlap, and fucking hell, you don't realise how this sort of dead internet theory is coming around, because it's like, I think I tried 3 or 4 different versions or models, and every single one basically told me that one, wouldn't do it, 2, even if I did do it, it wouldn't necessarily prove anything. And then, yeah, it just kept going around in fucking loops, basically, giving me this sort of wokest fucking bullshit. It's like, I didn't ask. Like, I don't give a fuck about them. Just wanted to see if there was, like, because, yeah. All it was the heat map, a global heat map from 1970 to now, with the rise in commercial shipping and flights over the same period of time. Because would make sense, wouldn't it, really? The amount of progress and things that have gone on and the amount of fossil fuels that are being burnt is exponentially more, and has been since around the same sort of time. But, yeah. They're not all they're cracked out to be, just to let you know. Because whilst I only have a theory and I'm fairly sure I'm right, actually, finding those two things and merging them together and actually seeing it and trying to get all of the information put into one thing with it referenced. Yeah, I didn't like it. Didn't want to do it. Best it could come up with was a graph on Grok, which, yeah. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much of it is actually going to be right and how much of it is just going to be toxic internet theory. It's like, ooh. You can kind of see why they're abusing loopholes and destroying books to feed the models, but still going to come with a very similar outcome. It's like, I don't know. It's good and it's bad. It's like any fucking technology. I just found it funny how I used 3 or 4 different models, and they all came back with a very bullshit opinion. Just gave me an opinion rather than actually doing what I asked, which, yeah, is what it is, unfortunately. It's like cause and effect, but apparently that's not a thing. If you want to help support the channel and or Project Lukey, make sure to, Project Zero, Project Lukey, it's all the same fucking thing at the moment. Got to get one to do the other, got to fix me to do that, and likewise got to do that to fix me. It's a dualistic thing. It's like it'll help more people and inevitably and inspire a lot more people, but got to think about myself in the whole grand scheme of things, because, well, if I ain't there and there ain't getting shit done, is there? Basically. As I say, the prints are live and will be staying live for a little while. Content may drop off. It just depends on how things go. Like I say, as much as I know things will work eventually, it's the eventually part, because looking 8 months into this year and still at 0, it's like, yep, need some sales. I mean, selling one sticker is cool, but it's hardly going to pay for a master's anytime soon, and I don't really want to start one if I haven't got rid of and or made space for more, which, as I say, something I can't really think about until I've got money in the bank and a bit of time to really reflect, because thought and or the process of thought. It's a whole video in itself, eh? Make sure to subscribe, like, comment. I'm sure there's more hype. It's more important that you share it, really, because, like I say, whilst I have I'm working on growing some of my social media, it's like treacle. Just need a bit more, like, because like treacle is like, the more you have, the quicker it moves. It's just that progress, And yeah, I'll be back. Thank you very much for watching. Stay awesome, be positive, and hey, try and work on yourself. You never know, you might achieve something. Peace out, my lovers.